Here we are for the fourth Russian turn. There's one more turn left in this game. Russia has $47. Their purchase is 4 heavy tanks, 3 infantry, 1 mech, and 1 fighter for 47. So let's get into the battles. We will fly all 4 planes, 2 spaces into Romania. We will send 2 infantry from BBR into Romania. So that will be Battle 1. Battle 2, this tank from Western Ukraine. This tank from BBR. 2 tanks, 2 mechs from the Ukraine, all into Eastern Poland. The third battle, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. 1 tank from Belarus, 1 infantry from the Baltic states. I take that back. Yep, nope, that's how it's going to be. 1 infantry from the Baltic states, 1 tank from Belarus, 3 tanks from Archangel, and 1 mech. And battle number 4 is 2 heavy tanks and 1 infantry going into Finland from Karelia and Vyborg. And a walk-off battle is Korea. All units will move into Korea from Amur, which is 3 infantry, 2 artillery. We'll walk around and roll some dice. All right, so we will start at the bottom there, which is a tactical, which will do a target select on one of the infantry. But first, I got anti-aircraft gun. So I got 3 1s from the anti-aircraft. Oh, good night. No. You got to be kidding me. All right. So, 2 hits from the anti-aircraft gun. Well, let's scratch that tactical and 1 fighter. So that is not how you want to start. So that leaves the Russians with 2 1s and 2 3s. The 2 German infantry will be the red 2s. 1 hit on the Russian, or on the Germans, I should say, so no return fire. So that means the Germans are down to 1 red dice. Nope, I take that back. They do have that anti-aircraft gun, so we got to take that, put the infantry back. All right, so now it's 2 infantry against 2 infantry and 2 planes, which is the dice that we have here. We'll roll it for round 2. All right, 2 hits from the planes, 1 hit from the German infantry back. So that will be 2 infantry gone and 1 Russian gone, leaving 1 to take it. Oh my gosh, that was so painful. All right, so the next battle in Eastern Poland, there's 1 German infantry, which will be the red dice at 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 heavy tanks, so that'll be 4 4s, and then 2 mechs at 1. So there is the roll. And there is 2 hits by the tanks. The Germans get nothing back. So they do have 2 anti-aircraft guns, so they'll lose both those. And the 1 infantry is still there. So we have the same dice roll as before. And the German did not hit, and there's plenty of hits from the Russians. So that battle is concluded. All right, up in Leningrad, let's clear these dice. It's hard to keep moving there. All right, so I have to roll this one separate, as we both have 4s. So there's 4 Russian tanks a mech, and an infantry. So there's the German roll, or Russian roll. I keep getting that mixed up. I don't know why. The Russians roll, get 4 hits. So the Germans, having 2 heavy tanks, respond in similar with 4s for 1 hit. All right, so 2 German tanks, 1 Russian infantry. All right, so the final battle in Finland, 2 heavy tanks, 1 infantry. So that will be 2 4s and a 1, and the German will be the red dice at 2. And no hit for Germans, 2 for the Russians. So that means the German infantry is gone. All right. Let me look and see. The other was a walk-off. All right, so that's it for the battles. So Finland would be 2. Let's just take that off, both of those, because those, well, no, that one needs a Russian marker. I'll have to place that one. I thought that was a Russian marker. All right, so 2 for Finland, 2 for Leningrad, 1 for Poland, and 3 for Romania. So that's 3, 4, 6, 8. So the scoreboard goes up on the income tracker. 8 for Russia. So they go up to 42, and Germany goes down to 42. That wasn't even in the screen. That sucks. All right. Now for the non-com. We're going to land our planes in Bessa Berea. So we can get that marker off. The planes that are left, my gosh. I moved that. All right, so that anti-aircraft gun, where was it? Wow, how did it get knocked way over there? The anti-aircraft gun was in Bryansk, and that was there, so I don't know what transpired to move all those pieces around. So the anti-aircraft gun slides into the Ukraine. That's marking those movements. We have down here the tank and mech heading to Jordan. And in Caucasus, we are railing these 3 infantry down to Iran. Be one, well, it's only 2, but you need the rail to get them there. The bomber is flying down to the Caucasus. Didn't do anything this turn, mainly because things in other parts of the world didn't happen as I suspected. These guys will be railed from Moscow. 1, 2, 3. So that's 2 infantry railed into Baltic states. That anti-aircraft goes up into Leningrad. This here, we're going to rail this guy there. The tank in Novorossiysk goes 1, 2 into Archangel. And the last movement is these 2 guys in Siberia coming up to Amur. All right, so let me look and see. I think that's it. I don't have a Russian marker handy. I'll just mark that with the Russian marker later. All right, so a recap on the troops. We'll start at the north there in Finland. I've got 2 heavy tanks, 1 infantry. In Leningrad, I have 4 heavy tanks, 1 anti-aircraft, 1 mech. Archangel, you know what? I got to stop. I didn't place my buy. All right. All sorts of dysfunction here. The fighter is going to Moscow. Let's just switch hands so I can do this without moving the camera. 2 infantry going into Caucasus. I have 2 heavy tanks and a mech going into Ukraine. And for the factory in Archangel, 2 heavy tanks and an infantry. All right. Knocked somebody over. He was here. Now we're ready for the recap. All right, so the recap is, you know what? Wait a minute. Lend-Lease. Let's roll a Lend-Lease. It's a 4. On the card, a 4 is a destroyer, but I don't have control of the Lend-Lease C-Zone. So, $5 for Pacific Aid, which is useless on this round. All right. Recap now. Finland, 2 heavy tanks, 1 infantry. Leningrad, 4 heavy tanks, 1 mech, 1 anti-aircraft gun. Archangel, 3 heavy tanks, 1 infantry. Baltic States, 2 infantry. Eastern Poland, that would be 2 mechs and 4 heavy tanks. Romania, 1 infantry. Bessarabia would be 2 fighters. If you'll allow me, that was supposed to move into Poland to guard those tanks against aerial assault. If you will not allow me, you may move it back to Bessarabia. Just let me know. Ukraine, 1 anti-aircraft gun, 1 mech, 2 heavy tanks. Moscow, 1 fighter, 1 infantry. Tugunska, I just had to leave a guy there. 1 infantry. Amur, 2 infantry. South Korea. Korea, 3 infantry, 2 artillery. And the only other thing is Transjordan, a heavy tank and a mech, and I don't know if I did Caucasus, but it's a bomber and 2 infantry. So it doesn't matter a whole lot for cash this turn, but they would have 42 plus 5 for Lend-Lease plus the 11, so that would be 47, 50, $58 if they were going to do anything with their money. And it's quite possible they will next turn, but we'll just see what happens there. It is now time for Imperial Japan.